Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm doing meatloaf. Everybody loves meatloaf. I'm going to do it my way. I have some boneless pork butt here. I picked it up from the butcher. I was going to do other things with it, but I ran out of time. So instead of wasting it, yes, I know I could freeze it, but I don't want to. I'm going to cut it up and make some meatloaf out of it. And we're going to do it two different ways. At least two different ways. Basically what I'm going to do, cut it up, grind it, add the salt, spices, whatever else I'm adding to the whole mix. I've got these little meatloaf tins here. I'm going to do one plain. The next one, I'm going to throw in some sautéed mushrooms and some cheese. I might add some little heat to it. I don't know yet. And we're going to cook them on the smoker. I just like to show what we can do with the smoker. We can do lots of different things with it. And meatloaf's one of them. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've got a nice sauce going. A nice tomato sauce with mushrooms, fennel, coconut milk. And I'm gonna blitz that down, make a nice smooth sauce out of that to eat with the meatloaf. Let's get started. Nothing fancy here, we're just gonna take it out. Garbage. Take off the netting. I don't know why they put it on, but got some nice marbling, but what we're going to do is add some extra fat, and all I'm going to do is cut it into pieces that will fit down the grinder. And like everything, I will be weighing the meat, so I know exactly how much salt and spice to use. I will be writing it down in my food diary. And again, with this one, I'm just I'm flying by the seat of my pants, if you want to call it that today. I'm just whipping it together. Okay, let's get this put together. I'm only using the smaller plate today. I am going to do this though. You never want to run a grinder dry, so I always recommend put a little bit of oil or fat on the plate. Once the meat and fat's going through, you don't have to worry. And just hand tight. There we go. That's on. I have my plunger handy because I like all my fingers. Bowl. Now we're plugging in. I just want you to be safe. You know what? I might sound like a pest sometimes, but you know what? Be safe and just do it because we like our fingers. And there we go. I guess I'm making a little bit of a bigger batch than I thought. Oh well. Woo! Done. Now I'm going to weigh it out and add all the spices and salt all together to the whole batch, and then we're going to split it up. Perfect. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I had some leftover onion, and I threw the onion in the grinder as well. It's a great way to get that flavor in there. And trusty food diary, calculator. Now it's just a matter of figuring out the salt and whatever other spices I'm going to be using. The way we're doing this, we're gonna add the salt to everything, pepper and all the other main spices. That way your basic mix is all the same. It's way easier than trying to portion out little amounts and then add the salt, pepper per those. This way you know it's all the same. And then if you want to go crazy with the spicing on individual ones, do it. But this way it's all consistent. Got our little tray. We're gonna tear that. So this is the main spice blend. Fresh ground pepper. I hope I have enough. And we're gonna do the salt separate. Let's see. We're just using regular sea salt. I don't need pickling salt for this because we're cooking it right away and I don't need the cure and I just need the salt. Perfect. And I am gonna weigh out some water. That's that. Perfect. I gotta say, like, there's probably 100 different ways to make meatloaf. This is just one of many ways. I'm breaking this down as a coarse sausage. I'm treating it the same way. I'm gonna put everything in, mix it, get some of that bind, everything sticks together, and then cook it off. There we go, that. Let's get the spice. Mix this together a bit first. It's already changing, you're getting some binding happening here. I only add some of the water first. Look at that, it's tightening up already. All that water has got sucked in. That's what you want. That's the salt doing its job. We're opening up that protein from the meat, which then allows it to bind with everything. And for this, I know a lot of people will add eggs and breadcrumbs and things like that. You really don't need them. Doing it this way, I've got lots of bind in this meat, which is gonna stick together just fine. There's nothing wrong with adding all that stuff. I just don't do it. Okay, now we're just gonna fill them. I'm gonna do one, which is the basic mix we've done here. I didn't grease the pan. I don't think I'm gonna need to. But what I'm gonna do, just take, it's all about presentation. A little bit of water on the hands just to smooth it out. And I actually used to do this commercially when I was working as a butcher and sausage maker. We'd have the bigger pans and you would still take your hand, a little bit of cold water just to smooth out the top. Makes it look nicer. Boom. One. What I'm gonna do is take a portion, but I'm gonna add some sautéed mushrooms. A whole bunch. You want them in there. And I'm also gonna add some nice aged white cheddar. Who doesn't like cheese in their meatloaf? Give this a quick little mix. And what I'm trying to do too is to show you that, yeah, you have one basic mix. Just by adding different ingredients, you've totally changed the flavor profile into something totally different. For all you people that like it a little spicier, I'm gonna do something. You all know what that is? Sriracha. So, quick shake. I'm not weighing this out. I'm just doing it by eye. I know what I would normally put on something I eat. So I'm going to do comparable to that. There again, if it's not hot enough at the end, you can always add more. Let's put you in here. Same thing. A little bit of water. You know, and this way too, have fun with it. You know, you have people coming over, you can personalize little meatloaves like this for them, and just have fun with it. There's that one. Now I'm gonna get the smoker ready and get these bad boys on there and cook them off. Yes, we're at the smoker now. Gonna throw them on. They're in there best I can do it, and here we go. Knowing from what I know, I'm gonna let them go at least an hour, and then we'll come back. Another hot one here in Brampton today, but we're at an hour, so I'm gonna take a peek, take the temperature, and see where we're at. And I've been keeping the temperature 300, 310 the whole time. I want it hotter. This isn't low and slow. This one. Almost there. Welcome back inside. They are done. I've let them rest for about 15 minutes. There's a lot of fat that rendered off. I'm okay with that because we don't use binders and any other crappy chemicals. So everything's all natural as much as I can. I don't think it's really going to do anything to the meatloaf, but we'll find out. We're gonna start with the basic plain one. Oh, look at that, nice and juicy still. Wow. Just gonna do a thin slice. That's really good. I expected it to be juicy, but that's okay. Tastes really good. Actually got a little bit of smoke ring on the top. This is number 2. This is sriracha. Oh, really juicy too. That looks so good though. Oh, smells so good. That is good. That sriracha in there, wow. Gives it that little bit of heat. Great flavor. Now honestly, if I wanted to make it hotter, I would have just added a little bit of cayenne. But that just, oh, that's good. And then number 3, the one I'm most excited about. If you remember, this has got the cheese, mushrooms. Oh, look at that. That looks awesome. Okay. Oh, that's good. Totally different. Wow, I love that. Another great outcome. I think these turned out awesome. I know, I keep using that word, but turned out great. Flavor's great. They're not too fatty, nice and juicy. Let's take a piece off here. What I also forgot, I made this tomato sauce with the mushrooms. Well, let's do this. Oh yeah. That's really nice. That complements each other. I think I'm going to make some pasta tonight with that. Wow. That is good. Now before we go, one thing, you know, you got all this meatloaf now, so you have leftovers. So like tomorrow or the day before, after, you know what, you can slice it into slices, throw it in the frying pan with some like potatoes and eggs, heat it up, throw it on a bun. There's a number of ways you can eat it after too, so don't be afraid to have leftovers. Leftovers are awesome. I hope you all had fun. I hope you learned something, you know. I will be doing meatloaf different ways. This is just one way you can do it. It's very simple. Anybody can do this. No big secrets here. I just like showing you that you can do it at home like this and have fun with it and have fun with your food. Enjoy your food. On that note, hit that like, subscribe, leave me some comments. I'd love to know what you're thinking. And have a great night, everybody, and happy eating.